Hey folks, this is Best in Slot, and today we're going to take a somewhat depressing trip down memory lane and take a look at 5 of the most promising dinosaur games that, well, went extinct. Come on, you can't really blame me, can you? All dinosaur game fans know that familiar pang of pain of a promising project that never sees the light of day. That was a lot of plosives. And whilst there's definitely a bunch of titles out there that didn't really live up to the pre-release hype, there's actually not as many as I thought or expected. We've been starved for a really long time, deprived of all games in this genre, and whilst the upcoming slate of dino games looks really promising, and you can check out my video on that topic down below in the description, today let's take a look back at the 5 main ones that slaked our thirsty hype back in the day, and what went wrong. Number 1 on the list, and the first of 2 officially licensed Jurassic titles to make the list, we have Jurassic Park Survival. This action-adventure title was planned to come out in November 2001 for the PS2 and the Xbox to coincide with the release of Jurassic Park 3. And, well, that was really problem number 1. It was being developed alongside the film, so the film crew, and this is unsurprising given the very tumultuous nature of Jurassic Park 3's filming, they couldn't provide all the information, all the references that the game developers would have needed. Instead, the developers, Savage Entertainment, kind of just went off and did their own thing. They were building a Tomb Raider-esque title that would take the players to a third island as David Vaughn, a new character, a middle-aged, gruff white man. Who saw that one coming, eh? The island has been taken over by mercenaries, and Vaughn must battle both them and the dinosaurs if he is to survive. Dinosaurs including, of course, Tyrannosaurus Rex, Spinosaurus, and, funnily enough, Troodon, and not just any Troodon, but Troodons with big, glowing eyes. Remind you of anyone? Unfortunately, due to financial conflicts between the developers and the publishers, that was Vivendi Universal, the game never saw the light of day, but it got further along than basically any other game on this list, to the point where IGN actually wrote a pretty promising preview on the game, one in which the author proclaimed their confidence that this was going to be the dinosaur game, to buck the trend of terribleness that until then had only been stymied really by Dino Crisis. Whoops. Next up, we've got something much more recent, the Podlands. And this one stings a little, I'm not gonna lie. It looks very promising and I know the people involved. But whilst the game is actually still visible, you can go check it out and wishlist it right now on Steam. To this very day, development has indeed come to an end. Now, unlike the previous title, the Podlands was very much a small-scale indie affair, the ones that so often fall prey to the realities of life, regardless of how talented the developers are. But what we saw was really promising. With a unique, semi-cartoony art style and some beautiful dinosaur designs, this open-world adventure game would have had you maintaining a dinosaur ranch whilst you hunted down new species in the wilds. At least we've still got Paleopines coming out to kind of address that ranching aspect. Throw in some crafting and base building and your normal survival doolalies, real word, don't look it up, and it could have been our modern equivalent to... well, we'll get to that one later on. Regardless, even though it seems like such a natural fit, we don't really have many of these open world, human character, survival game sort of things with crafting and with dinosaurs other than Ark. And it's a shame that Podlands won't be joining that list. Right, back to Jurassic Park, but this time a fan project, and whilst we've seen a lot of these die over the years, this one still hurts the most. Jurassic Park Aftermath was aiming to be an achingly realistic rendition of Jurassic Park itself, rendered in CryEngine, as was the style at the time. I don't have to say too much to show why losing this one hurts, and believe this has been cancelled for like 7 years now and it still hurts to this day, but I mean, just look at it folks, it is beautiful. There's some brilliant fan games out there that let you explore Jurassic Park, but none have really nailed the look and the tone, quite like Jurassic Park Aftermath looked to do so. It's probably the most I've been excited for a fan project, well, ever, really. Life is naught but entropy and pain. I'm not sure why the project was shut down, probably the usual fan project reasons of time and scope getting away from people, but this one will still hurt on my deathbed, I tell you. I take this all very seriously. And time for something a little different, a nostalgic throwback for some of you I'm sure, Dinosaur Battlegrounds. 2016 was a weird and burgeoning time in dinosaur gaming. A bunch of projects began to sprout up in the wake of Jurassic World's success. Among them, two were very similar. Dinosaur survival games taking place in accurate renditions of Hell's Creek, Saurian, and Dinosaur Battlegrounds. Saurian, of course, is alive and well. Okay, well, it's on life support, but still, it does update now and again. You can go buy it right now if you want to on Steam, and you should. It's a pretty cool game. But Dinosaur Battlegrounds didn't quite make it, and whilst it had a really beautiful rendition of Hell's Creek rendered in CryEngine as well, as was the style at the time, development hubris got the best of it and it went extinct. It was to be similar to Saurian. You would pick a dinosaur, fight to survive, rise to the top. It even had a successful Kickstarter. They managed to raise more money than they were aiming for, and there was a post-Kickstarter funding period, which I distinctly remember donating to twice because I forgot that I'd done it the first time. But developer Frank Denota, who seems to have given up on dinosaurs in the years since and has been painting porn stars, seems to basically have taken the money and split. The dangers of crowdfunding and not storing your email receipts properly. What's that? You're tired of hearing about things that aren't Jurassic franchise related? Well, this is just for you, Jimmy. Another relative... Who's Jimmy? I don't know. I did script that as well, it's nonsense. No, I didn't script this though. Another relatively recent entry to this list, first appearing in leaks back in 2015, Jurassic World Survivor was a movie tie-in game due to roughly coincide with the Jurassic World film. Cryptic Studio, who had developed titles like Star Trek Online, opened a new branch in Seattle in 2013, and that new branch got to work on a Jurassic World game, apparently planned as a downloadable only title where you'd be controlling Owen Grady, and apparently the game was going to be similar to H1Z1, which back then was basically just an open world survival game thingamajiggy. So, open world with dinosaurs, craft, survive, your usual stuff. But officially licensed games outside of Park Builders and Pokemon Go ripoffs are a rare beast for this franchise, not seen really since Jurassic Park Trespasser, or that terrible mobile game from last year that I've literally forgotten the name of already. The point is, whilst Survivor wasn't far along, the models that had been worked on so far were pretty promising, and the idea itself had promise. Unfortunately, Cryptic Studios made the fatal mistake of trying to release a dinosaur game, and therefore they were shuttered in 2015, along with production on Jurassic World Survivor. So, that's the 5, but I did mention another game earlier, so as a bonus treat, The Stomping Land. Now, The Stomping Land did indeed see the light of day, and I've got many videos on the game here on my channel, but development was tumultuous to say the least and embroiled in controversy. Controversy that reignited last year when the developer came back and started working on The Stomping Land 2.0 seemingly, only for people who had bought the original though. You can't buy the game on Steam, but if you already had it, you get access to this new version. It's not worth playing at the moment. And I say that, but even that version hasn't updated in something like 6 months. I believe it's April or maybe August last year since it last updated. Either way, it's been a while. So it seems the Stomping Land may have not died once, but actually died a second time. I've got a video covering the Stomping Land and what happened with the game on the channel. I will link that down below as well. You can check it out in the description. But it deserves an honourable mention. As to a couple of others, I considered 2 others for this list. There was Crinosaurs, which eventually became Collision Course, and you can buy Collision Course on Steam right now if you want to, and Mesozoica. But really, the less said about Mesozoica the better, really, I think. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this depressing trip down memory lane. Maybe this is what Green Day were really talking about with Boulevard of Broken Dreams. There's no dinosaur games besides us, just our shadows. Pause for dramatic effect. Yes, that was scripted. And so was that, and now I'm in a loop. Despite how sad this list is in a way, I'm really optimistic for the future of paleo gaming, with so many really cool looking titles due to arrive in the next couple of years. Until then, sadness and hope, just like my real life, eh? If you enjoyed this video, throw me a like down below, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you lovely lot next time. Thank you so much for joining me. Cheers, much love, as always. Bye-bye.
Reaching out.